Well, good afternoon. Welcome to the bench today. Hope everybody's doing really well on this beautiful Monday. I have a beautiful Les Paul shaped object sitting here. It is an Epiphone. It is a Les Paul, what is it? Standard Pro. Got the binding. Really, it's a pretty heavy guitar. Beautiful back on this thing. Can't really tell. You tell me, but it looks almost like it's a two-piece body. There might be a seam right here. Oh, no, there's a seam right here. And the way I can see that is right there. So there's, looks like a seam. So it's probably 3 or 4 piece. They did a good job hiding that, for sure. But oh, it's a laminated single piece over the back, so they hid the they did a good job hiding the multiple pieces of wood. You can see the laminated piece on the top of this thing, or in the back of this. So basically we're just doing a full setup on this thing today, so I'm just going to dig right in. Hope everybody's doing well. Hello Richard, hello Zach, my brother Zach, Mr. Preston Smith, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If I missed anybody, I need to dig right into this thing, so I'm gonna just get started getting the strings off her. I've already done an inspection of the neck relief. The guitar was tuned up to pitch, although, yeah, these are probably 10 gauge strings, and the neck has a pretty big amount of relief, or underbow, as some people would call it. What I would call this a banana neck. Now, when I'm up here loosening these strings, I'll get you kind of pointed in on something that I'm seeing. Watch this nut right here as I see that moving. See it wobbling back and forth. So what that tells me immediately is that these nuts are loose because they're moving, you know, and the washers now are loose. And this is something on a Les Paul shaped object. You should almost, I would almost recommend that you check that every single time you remove the strings and put new strings on it, which I know a lot of guys don't take strings off of their guitar, put new strings on them very often, but when you do, that's something to look for. That stuff being loose can lead to tuning problems, I suppose. Now, I did a couple of quick inspections on this thing, and these feet are bottomed out, which is great, and the strings aren't making contact with the back of the bridge here. The tailpiece sits nicely, so I like that. So we're just going to get the strings off of this and get things going. Well, that fit in there nice and tight. These might be heavier gauge strings. Notice I'm having a hard time. Those strings are sticking in the nut there. So somebody may have put some 11 gauge strings on this guitar at some point. We'll do our best to measure them. See what they are. They felt like 10s, but I don't know. I'm not always spot on with that. They would have likely from the factory put 10 gauge strings on this and then cut the nut. It's a plastic nut, it appears. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's plastic. So, with the old strings, I don't do any real measurements on it because the strings are bent. They're very well worn. And the young man who owns this guitar lives about 45-minute drive from my shop, and he's brought it in because I did some work on a black Fender Stratocaster with 2 humbuckers in it here about a month ago, and I believe I did a live broadcast of that setup, and he was so happy with that he wanted to bring this one in and let me give it the full Monty setup is all we're calling this. No real problems with the guitar that he pointed out, just he wants it set up properly and cleaned, and so we'll get this thing all cleaned up, sparkly and shiny. I know that my friend Rick Romanelli is playing live right now, and I would ask, I saw a lot of you over at his channel already, but be sure to go over there and hit the thumbs up for him. I don't really worry too much about who's streaming. I just go live when I want to and when I have time, and when I feel like I've got something that I might be able to help someone learn something about. So I'm going to go ahead and cinch these nuts up. As you can see, most of them, they're pretty darn loose. Now, you don't want to like reef down on these too hard. You'll crack the finish in the headstock. The finish will crack around these, so just get them snug. These are very loose on this thing, so I won't say that it caused any tuning issues. I hadn't played the guitar before this at all. And then we'll flip this bad boy over and we will check how tight the screws are here. Grover machine heads. And yep, these screws are all pretty loose. So little stuff like this every so often on your instrument can really save you some headaches. If that thing spins at all, my G string won't stay in tune. Well, a good reason why, probably. If your hardware is loose, or a little ding across the back here. Made in China, handcrafted in China. I'm not going to remove any of the decals off of this one. I didn't ask him if I could do that. And while I got it here, I'm going to go ahead and wipe down all of the hardware. It's a little bit dusty. I don't know how well you can see what these knobs look like before. I just wipe them down with a rag and getting a lot of DNA off of there. They get dirty. That's why guys bring them to me. They take the time to clean them up and make them look nice and shiny once again. Boy, a lot of guck on these. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? It's nice to get a nice shiny guitar back from your guitar repair tech. Spend a lot of my time working on guitars, cleaning them up, and it's something that my clients have come to expect. So I don't waste any time. I try and do it quickly and get them done. This is a good spot where some of that semi-chrome polish might come in handy. But the guck that's on here is coming off really good with just a dry rag. So we won't worry too much about putting any semi-chrome on here. I just want to make sure I do a good job of getting all of it off of there, so it looks nice for him. So I have to admit something about my my new computer. Those of you who may have caught wind that I was having some problems with it. Well, the problems with it were the driver for the sound card. I run a 18i20 Focusrite sound card. Mine is a second generation sound card, and the mistake that I made was I installed the driver for the third gen. Click, 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 boom, and at the Focusrite website, and when I went there I realized that I had just clicked on the first driver that I stumbled upon, which of course was for the third generation. So I'm just checking to make sure this truss rod works, and it does. Put it right back where it started. So we're gonna go ahead and go over this thing. So I made a mistake with regard to installing a driver on my computer, my brand new computer, that I thought had a hardware issue and or something else wrong with it, and I was wrong. I'm gonna grab a new towel, a nice new clean one here. I go through these not too quickly, but I go through a lot of them. You want to keep them clean, because if you're sanding on wood or whatever, or grinding on metal or sanding some metal, you get a little flake of metal in your rag. If you're me, that piece of metal will be used to polish the guitar, which doesn't work real well. And you'll scratch up the finish on a beautiful guitar. You want to be really careful to check your rag for remnants of debris that you may have been working on. I want to tell you how grateful I am to you for bringing that to my attention. It was something so simple. And having made the mistake and realizing that the mistake was made, it is very, very easy to make. Very easy. Especially when you get a, you know, and you're like me, you get a new computer and you're all fired up to get it working. You're not paying as close of attention to the options available to you, the millions of options available to you on websites and places where you download your important software that's required, and you download the wrong thing just like that. It will it'll make you look dumb. It made me look dumb today. I felt like such a bonehead. Okay. There's a little scratch down here in the finish. We're gonna go ahead and let that sit, although I could probably polish that out with some I'd have to sand that a little bit. It's a fairly deep scratch. I don't know if you can see that right here in the finish, but in order to get that out of there, I would probably have to well, I might have to do a little bit of wet sanding on it. But before I do that, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to use some semi-chrome. I just want to see if I can possibly, that's 10 times more than I needed to use on that one little spot. And that may not have been a scratch, actually. That just may have been something that was on the top of the guitar. So it looks like it came right off of there. It did. It was dinner, snack, breakfast, something like that. I don't walk on water, you guys. Every time I try, I get my damn ankles wet. I say that every single time. Alright, so this guitar is looking nice and clean now. So here's what I'm going to do with regard to the fret polish. And you can see the frets are actually in pretty good shape. I took the truss rod cover off of there because I will be turning the truss rod today. Using a little bit of the polish, just a tiny little amount. And we're going to start with this one. And we'll go over all 22 of them and get them polished up. Make them look really nice. He'll love this. I don't think the gentleman who owns this guitar, I don't think he plays a lot, but he does enjoy having a nice guitar in his hands, and thus he brought them to me to have them set up. He didn't really think that there was anything specifically wrong with this, but my initial, you know, when I investigated or just looked at the guitar, looked it over, the string action is very high. So we're definitely going to deal with that. And then on top of that, he had a big bow in the middle of the neck that was way more than what it needs to be. And you can see all the guck that that's coming off of these frets. And we'll clean all of this off of the fingerboard. So we're just doing a real quick cleaning on this bad boy. You guys see me do this in almost every single video I make. I wish I could fast forward through this part, but I can't. maybe put on some music while I'm doing this. Yeah, you can see the difference in these frets. I think the camera will show you what the major difference that you're seeing in the polished frets versus the ones that aren't polished yet. Today is the day for record player repairs coming in. Check this out. I'll show you real quick. So, gentleman just brought that record player in. I'm going to keep his information, and then this console. That's got a record player, an 8-track player, and an amplifier in it. And those came in, and then that receiver right over there came in, and I get to try and fix those. Don't know fully what's wrong with any of them yet. I haven't had an opportunity to look into it. But they'll be fun. Probably going to be a few days until I can get to work on those. I've got enough guitars here that I want to get taken care of, and they are kind of the order in which they're received is how I try and work on stuff, unless you're a working musician, and then your instrument immediately goes on my bench. If you've got a gig and you have the possibility of making money playing your instrument, I will work on yours first. Boy, a lot of grinding. Usually the frets up in this area, the cowboy chord spot, they're really usually pretty in better shape than the oxidized ones down at the end of the neck where guys don't play. The frets just sitting there, they don't get the dust knocked off of them enough, and they end up being pretty darn oxidized when I get them usually. So you want them, you know, if you every other string change or so, if you go through this process, you can see all of the shit that's on your frets, and all of that amounts to your frets now being shiny. I'm looking at a couple of these that I'd like to hit one more time. These frets are in really good shape, unfortunately. I don't think this guitar has been played a lot. But he was saying that after I did the work on his Stratocaster, he can't put the thing down, so he thinks I'll do the same thing for this thing. So, and I hope that's the case. Trying to say hi, everybody. Thank you for hanging with me today. Yeah. Yeah. Deja what? Yep. Down here, this is where they get the wear. First and second frets. On the B string, the G string. That's where they get the wear. They look 100 times worse than they really are, to be honest. That's usually the case. So I would, at least in my experience, you can look at them. These have a little bit of wear on them, but you run your fingernail across there, you can't feel anything, but it looks like there's dents in them. It really truly does. This process here, we usually bring a little bit of the shimmer back to these fret markers, make them look new. This gentleman has definitely treated this with some sort of oil at some point in the life of this guitar, because it's definitely hardened on here. I'm guessing probably mineral oil, either that or maybe some tung oil, because it seems awful hard. And I can definitely see that in the grain of the wood on this, it looks like a rosewood fingerboard. The grain of the wood has debris in it where the guitar has been cleaned and just build up. It's kind of gray. Just kind of scraping at it to see if I can get some of that out of there. That's of no consequence at all. This is just my basic everyday setup of a Les Paul shaped object. Epiphone or Gibson, any of them. Ibanez, doesn't matter. Washburn, Dean. Poor guys got sued. Good grief. Let them build guitars. How's everybody doing today on this beautiful Monday? You guys are talking baking bread. That's cool. I haven't baked bread for quite a long time. That's something I need to try doing again. I used to make it all the time. When I was plumbing houses, you know, I had really ferocious appetite, and it's kind of like punk rockers have a ferocious downstroke. I would bake bread, not necessarily every day, but every other day. Ended up buying a bread baking machine to cheat a little bit, I suppose. I'm spitting on the guitar here. So I would bake fresh bread almost every day and just make these monstrous peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Just for the record, I make the best peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the world. Every one I make is better than the last one, and I have yet to ever be beat. My wife tried making me lunch once. It was very sweet of her to do that, and I was very grateful, but I didn't let her do it again. She can't make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the way that I do. So that was the end of that, and I think she was grateful for that too. I don't know. I think she did it on purpose. Ex-wife. I hope she's doing well. I haven't talked to her for a few weeks. Sounded like she was doing pretty good last time I spoke with her, though. Alright, so we're getting the cleanup out of the way so that we can get to the business end of things. What have I done today so far? I glued some braces in an acoustic guitar and helped a couple people find a new stereo for their car. That was pretty fun. We have a pretty small staff here on Mondays and Tuesdays, so I end up doing a lot more than just working on guitars. I think this will make it. I think I can make this last one more fret, 2 more frets. Looking good. I usually would swap out razor blades by now, but this part of the neck hasn't hardly been touched, so being real careful not to scratch up the pickups. Of course, the moment I say that, I hit it with a razor blade. Alright. Where's my brush? There's my brush. Brush this thing off. Lots of dust. I got dust all over the place. Look at that. Love the smell of rosewood. Love the smell of rosewood. Not much better than that in the world. If they made men's cologne out of rosewood, oh my God, you guys, we'd have to fight them off with a stick. Maybe you would, I wouldn't, but the stuff just smells glorious. Fresh sanded rosewood. Oh. I realize I'm probably not in the picture. My cameraman's sleeping on the job. He quit drinking. Got him to quit drinking, so that's a good thing. He'll probably start drinking again, though. I know him all too well. All right. Looking good, looking good. And we're about ready for some linseed oil, but first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this other rag here and I'm going to bust out the old Roncinol and light this bitch on fire. No, I joke. Clean it up. Get all that somebody's calling. That looks great. Phone?
The grand stereo.
All right, so we're all good with that. Now we'll do the money shot. Here we go. Here comes the money shot. Get me a paper towel. We'll do the old money shot. I love this. This is my favorite part of working on guitars, right here. Well, that and the smile I usually get when I give it back to somebody. It's amazing because a lot of the guitars lately that I've been getting done They've been getting picked up on weekends when I'm not here at the shop. Yeah, I do get some days off once in a while. So I'm not getting to see that smile as often. I think people are back to working longer hours because of the terrible inflation that our country is facing, and so they have to work more in order to do the things that they want. At least those people who care enough to work more. And so I'm not seeing them during the week. They go to work and go home and go to bed. And so I'm not saying that's something necessarily to be proud of, but yeah, it happens. I have a lot of smiling customers though. Okay, so we've gotten this thing all cleaned up and polished. Things are looking really good. Alright, so we're going to put some strings on this, but before I put strings on this, I am going to check the fingerboard for being level. Let's just see if it's got underbow with no strings on it. Oh yeah. It does have a pretty slight underbow. There we go.
Hi, Mark.
Hello.
Hey, Mark.
How are you doing?
Good, man. I ran out of money. I meant to come and pick them up last week, but I ran out of money, and so I have to pick them up this week. The 222 Remo drum heads.
Oh, the kick drum.
The kick
heads.
Oh, did you talk to him?
No,
Okay.
I think so. Give me a moment.
This is a nice little piece.
And I can't afford it yet, but I'd also like to look at that double kicker.
Oh, we sold one, but I think we got another one back in. Yeah, I sold that one. Yeah. But I haven't gotten another one back in. Let me take a look at it.
I even put your name on these, man. And we got you the kick pad protector. Alright, be sure to put that on there.
Yeah.
Just see where your kick pedal's hitting it. Put that piece, that block right. This is made for a double kick pedal.
Okay.
So you could, I suppose, cut it in half and use half of it and save the other one for a later date, or just put it on there. However you want to do that.
Hey. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, great to see you.
I meant to come in last week, but I ran out of money. I had to do it.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Hey, it's fine. It's always good. I love coming here. I know where, I know why I work so hard now.
Oh boy. Yeah. This is exactly why I work so hard.
Yeah. It's all about the heart,
keyboard that he is.
Oh, is that right?
Man, I love that thing.
You digging that?
Yeah,
That's great.
You can't get me off it.
Oh yeah. Good. I need to do that.
Especially the one-touch song,
Yeah.
Hawaiian songs.
Well, don't
Oh
you
yeah. Just push a button and it
Yeah.
goes.
It goes right along with it.
fake people out that way?
It is. It's a pickle, man.
Yeah.
It's a great little unit.
Oh.
All kinds of different sounds, and I'm already writing a couple songs.
Oh, that's great.
Pretty cool.
That's great.
I appreciate it.
Yeah. Well,
Thanks,
have
Mark.
fun. Okay. All right. Oh, that's cool. I love those guys. All right, so yeah, we're gonna tighten that truss rod. Let me double check this. I gave it a little bit of a turn. Oh, look at that. Boy, that was just the right amount. Now we got a little bit of underbow. So just a touch. I'm going to go ahead and back that truss rod off. One more little skosh here. Does anybody else call just a little bit of skosh? Alright, let's put some strings on this thing. This should be a pretty quick video. I don't think this will take me too long. Les Pauls usually respond pretty well to the adjustments we make in them. Many vibes. Oh, you're polishing? Might as well do it right the first time, right? Okay, just clean up my bench just a touch here. I'm gonna go put some strings on this thing. I'm gonna use a set of 10 to 46 Ernie Ball Slinkies. Probably the most popular string used on our planet. Oh, that's nice. Yeah. Gotten the hardware all tightened up, so I know we're looking good at that end of things. The machine heads feel really nice now. I'm gonna grab me a new rag here. Nice clean one. Alright. Here we go. We'll get this thing set up in no time. We're gonna check everything on this. Neck relief, first fret action. Might have to do a little work up here at the first fret, but we will see. I just kind of gave it a once-over, quick eyeball inspection when I got it today. And I don't measure anything with my eyeball. Just a skosh, that's it. Alright. Cool, I'm not alone. I figured other people said that. I wasn't sure if that was like a... See, this is what I'm talking about when I say be careful about your rag. Either of those things would have, if I had wiped this guitar down, would have put a scratch in that finish. I mean, not that getting a scratch in the finish is the end of the world, but not when it's on my bench. You can do that at home. Do that to your own guitar. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it to somebody's guitar.
How much is this X1? They changed just a little bit. Vipo?
Woohoo! Here we go.
Yeah. It's the Viper 1?
Viper X1.
We're the Vipers, man.
Fuck,
Viper
you've been working
1.
on some nice ass guitars lately.
Dude, they've been coming in.
Gosh darn it, all the
Business is
hate.
booming, right?
Hey, check these out.
Are they JBL?
I still got a...
See, you cut them out.
Alright.
See, they just
What?
they're called pile. Yeah. Chris is right. $200.
$200?
Yeah. For that amp. Yeah. And you have every, yeah. He's thinking about it right.
Well, that's why I come here with you guys.
But
The experts.
these are pretty good.
Are they?
Yeah. But I also have,
They're good for like them.
I'm not making any... Not breaking any land speed record. Thanks y'all for hanging with me. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, or if you feel like you learned something, you can send me some money on my PayPal. You know.
Kind of. I thought I seen that. I should be going somewhere else. Well, I should be going looking for my phone, man. I fell out of my pocket. Yeah, it's just in my house somewhere. Well, it always happens when I.
Do you have an iPhone?
Yeah.
Because you can do search to your iPhone too.
With what?
With a computer.
A what? A computer?
Computer.
No, I don't have one of those things. That's what my phone is.
Computer.
I cannot.
Do you know your Apple ID and password?
Yeah, dude, I'll find it, man. It's sitting in there.
We're gonna give him a little stretchy poo here. Kind of went sharp that time, which is unusual for me. I'm usually a half step flat. It's the 40-year-old hearing loss problem that all men experience.
It's actually a good little amp, I think. You have like a little necklace. I got one that's got birds.
You can trade it in.
With my mom.
Tell me I don't earn it.
Okay. Yeah, I got this little guitar.
Alright, so let's check our neck relief now, see where we're at. We flattened her out, put a set of 10s on here. I'm looking for 12 thousandths of an inch of relief, and we're a little flat. We're definitely flat. And we got to create a little bit more neck relief, so we will loosen the truss rod. We'll loosen it ever so slightly. And let's see where we're at now. And we're still a little bit flat. So we'll loosen it some more. And we're about at the end of having much bite on that truss rod. Either that or it just turns really easily. I don't like running out of tension. And with that move, we're looking pretty darn good. I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that point. Now we'll check our string height at the good old 12th fret. Geez, we're at 8/64ths and we're at 5/64ths. And I want 3/64ths and 5/64ths. We are way, way, way too high. So he's been fighting high string action for quite a while. So this handy dandy little screwdriver. This thing usually fits these slots very perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and tighten that down a little bit. And we'll see where we're at. Oh man, I called it 5/64ths. I stopped dead on 5/64ths. That's pretty good. And we're at still about 5/64ths on the other side, so we're going to go down just a bit.
I just like music so much, man. It wouldn't even really be for me. It's just what comes over where I play the drums. fun to mess around.
4/64. I'm going to go ahead and give it one more little nudge here.
No.
And 3/64. So let's tune it back up to pitch. What do you say? Mm-hmm. Let's see what she feels like. And we'll check our neck relief and all that one more time. One more time. Well, let's see what she feels like. See if she feels like I do.
Oh, that's a real cheapo.
Well, my goodness, that feels really great. Let's check the intonation. But before we check the intonation, what we're going to do, I'm sorry if that was not pointed at where I was playing. Again, you know, just my camera guy. He's a loser. He needs some help. Counseling, I think. I think he needs some counseling.
I like a petty.
Probably any of these down here. But TVs are probably the heaviest.
I have ones that
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's check our neck relief one more time.
Plastic tips don't stay on.
Yeah.
See where we're at.
A lot better drumsticks. I would get a 2B.
I think I have a set of these already.
2B, 5B, or 5A is probably what you want. 2B or 5B. Those are.
Boy, it's looking good. It's looking really good. Let's check our first fret action.
Seriously. I got a double bass.
I want a 16. Keep a 17 thousandths just. So we got some room up here. We got some room and we can get this first fret action a little bit better. He's having to push too hard here for a few of these strings. So let's go ahead and take care of that for him. If you've bought a brand new guitar and you've never had this done, you're missing out. This is a You can see that's 16 thousandths of an inch is all the more room you need. Got the first fret from the bottom of the string to the first fret, so we are going to make that so. So I'm going to start here with the G string, because we love the G string. 17 thousandths. I'm styling at a downward angle, and I'm going towards the machine head ever so slightly to help that string pass evenly and straight to that machine head. And then we'll check. Still have got distance. I'm going to go very slowly. Sneak up on it. And once you go too far, you went too far. And yeah, you can fix it, but this is definitely a composite nut. Almost making contact now. Just again, just sneak up on it. Don't go too fast, or you will regret it, or you'll be building a new nut. And then, of course, be very careful not to ding up the headstock. Beep. I think somebody used my 26 for something other than a nut file, like a metal file. This thing is not nearly as sharp as it was. I don't work on weekends, so my tools could get abused. Came in today after my weekend and my bench was just a complete mess. All I left was a rag over my block here. And came in today, my bench was a mess. Almost there. As you can see that I'm getting these strings, this first fret action a lot closer. which means a lot less effort to play bar chords. And the other thing it means is that when you push down on frets up in here, your intonation is better because you're not bending the string so far to make it hit a note. And thousandths of an inch truly make all the difference in the world. This low E string is pretty darn close. Oh, where is she? There she is. I'm liking a little extra off the back side of the nut. So we got a 13. You might be wondering why I'm doing it in this odd order. Because I can. Now on the treble E and B strings up here, you can get a little bit closer than the 16 thousandths because your string isn't spinning in such a huge circle as your lower strings when they're making their pitch. So what I like to do is file them down till with the feeler gauge, it's a feeler gauge, they actually fret a note at the first fret. And I will sometimes do that with the G string also. We're close. We are close. Alright, let's check our neck relief one more time after doing all that and letting this thing kind of settle a little bit. Been sitting here with some string tension on it for a while. Make sure to grab the right gauge, grab the right feeler gauge. Don't be using the wrong one. You measure it and you think you're all messed up and you really aren't. Oh boy. Yeah, and on this guitar right here at the 7th fret is where the deepest bow in the neck is, and it's dead on. So let's check the intonation on this thing, and we're almost done outside of intonation, which I'll do, but let's check our pickup height. Let's check our intonation. We got our guitar sweetened. I'm going to tip this up a little bit. I'm going to use a rhythm pickup. And I'm doing it with the guitar laying on its back, and I will, this is just so you can see So that's telling me it's a little bit flat, at least in this position, but let's see if I do it in the playing position, where everybody wants you to do it, right? I can't see my tuner. I'm gonna have to turn it a little bit. So we're still a little bit flat. I think I've got a client coming over to say hi. Give me a moment here.
Marshall, we had somebody that wanted to talk to me
Hello.
about guitar repair, and I told him he wouldn't let me even talk pin down.
Yeah, don't talk. Hey. Hello. What's happening?
So
It's not so much repair.
Okay.
let's still.
Looks like you got an Alvarez there. Is it an Alvarez?
No.
No,
It's
okay.
just the case that it's in. I didn't even know.
Okay.
To bring the case.
That's fine.
This guitar was given
Okay, busy. Holy smoke, sorry you guys. I needed a few minutes. Ah, boy, another one. Ah. Oh, Hugh, you're going to bed at your normal time. I hope you're doing well, Hugh. Thanks for being here. Zach, Dave, welcome. Hi, everybody. Okay, so we're doing intonation on this Epiphone Les Paul shaped object. And let's get back to it. Just had a young lady bring a guitar in that needs to be set up, and they want to have it done by tomorrow. So I am going to jump on that the moment I'm done with this one. I've got another, what is it? Not an Art and Lutherie, Simon and Patrick, Canadian made guitar that's back got glue drying on it. And we had to glue up some braces on the inside of that today, and it's doing just fine. So let's get the intonation on this bad boy dialed in. I'm going to do it in the seated, in the playing position. Who you get? My cat just slept for. I hope your cat's doing well. All right. So we're a little bit flat. I know I already checked that, but we'll adjust this so we want it to be sharper. So I will tighten this, given the direction the saddles are sitting. Welcome, Justin. Thank you for your help in solving my problem that I was such a dumbass in not solving. I can't believe it. There we go.
So is there a certain size of strap that you'd want, or are they all kind of adjustable?
They're all very, very similar. With an acoustic guitar, it's pretty open. With like a guitar like this, it's real heavy. I like to get a real broad, wide strap.
Nice wide one, nice padded.
Yeah, that would work fantastically for this guitar. Yeah, cool. The width and everything. These aren't terribly heavy.
No, they're
so,
really not. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you wanna take that with you today, or you wanna pick it up when you come get the guitar?
I think we might take it with us today.
Okay.
All right. You know.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So again, we're a little flat, so we'll bring the pitch up on this saddle. I don't know how well you guys can see what I'm doing here, but I'm just trying to get this thing done. Oh, good grief, you guys. When I was muted, I had another guitar and another amplifier show up that I have to get to. I will never complain about being busy. The thing that bothers me is if it takes longer. It takes too long to get a guitar back to somebody. I've had so much electronic equipment show up recently. The D string is good. I will always err on the side of being a little bit flat than I will being a little bit sharp when I'm intonating an instrument, whether it be a violin or not that there's intonation on a violin, but there is actually. And I'll always shy on the side of being a little bit flat. So we're sharp on the G string, so we need to flatten that one out. Ooh, we may be That may be about as flat as I can get it. Let's see. Okay, it's bottomed out as flat as the string can be, but I can still flip the the saddle around, which we may have to do. Boy, I think I can live with that. We'll live with that. Again, I like to err on the side of being flat over being sharp. So B string is sharp. You need to lengthen this saddle.
My name's Mike. If you need me, holler.
We've had a lot of folks coming in today looking at items and guitars, and awful close. Go a little bit further on this one. Then I can play it. I gotta test my work. Gotta test it. I can hear that this one is sharp. Oh boy. That's got to go back quite a ways. And the reason that I'm having to adjust this intonation so far, I couldn't tell you when the last time this guitar was intonated, but also maybe different gauge strings, because I did notice that the other strings were really sticking in the nut slots. Boy, that sounds great. All right, she's working. She's working. Alright. Alright. So, now we're going to adjust pickup heights. Whew, let's not do that. Let's adjust our pickup height. And I'm going to unplug this thing, plug it into my amplifier, so I can blow up the neighborhood. I think I'm required to play some Pantera today by my tattoo artist next door. Well, let's check our pickup height. Yep, they're way too close, so we need to lower those pickups.
So I think we will put these in the case there.
Oh, okay, awesome.
I'll put them right in
Yeah,
that front
you
pocket.
can. Yeah. Excellent. Oh, that's so cool. Getting her all set up. That's good for you, man. She's gonna have fun with that.
Well, so you know Andy, you know.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all very kind of.
We've probably drank beer together, man.
Well, I don't drink, but
Oh, well,
I've
good for
probably
you.
been
I don't
over
either.
to his friend.
Back
I've been
in the
over
day.
there and whatnot. But.
Yeah.
So we've probably met before at one point.
Yeah.
Probably. I don't know.
Well,
But-
Matt and I, we used to play in a band together.
Mm.
I don't know, he's cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's over, I don't know, someplace in Washington now.
Yeah.
But yeah, Andy, we had so many good times together, living over in that place. It was so sad when they moved. It was like, we
Yeah,
lost.
well.
Yeah.
That's life, though.
Yeah.
All right. Well, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Here we go. Pickup height. Looking really solid. Intonation's looking really good. Let's see what she sounds like. Because it's got all these It's got all these coil taps and such. Does not very. Am I plugged in? Well, I must have a cable. I certainly do. That should. There we go. Let's see what she feels like and sounds like. We'll just play it nice and clean. Nice and clean. It's feeling all right. I think I've done okay on this one. Just okay, right? sounds like a Les Paul. Ah, what a cool guitar. Beautiful guitar. All right. So, hey, Rick. Yeah. Hey, Ian's Guitar Shack, welcome. Hi, buddy. Well, I hope y'all are doing well. Rick, it was really wonderful to get to see you and listen to you play again today. I so enjoy that at my lunch break on Mondays. It's awesome. Such a great player and a good dude. It's really great to get to hear that. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Had fun working on this thing, and just a real quick little setup. I think what time? Been about an hour, maybe hour and a half. I had to do some business in the meantime, so you know, total time I spent on this guitar was about an hour. Yeah, Hugh, this thing really does have some good tones. Those single coil taps with them run together has that real quacky, nice quack tone. Really like it. That neck pickup in this thing is awesome. I can tell I would have a lot of fun with that. Oh, cool, Ian. Great for you. You guys, I've got to get going. I've got a lot of stuff to get to. If that's that pile of stuff right there, I get to fix all of that. So I've got to get busy. You guys, thanks for being here. We'll do another Welcome to the Bench soon, I'm sure. Peace, y'all. Have a wonderful afternoon. Happy Monday. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell, all of that stuff. Peace. Hey, thanks for being here, Zach. Bless you, brother.